consultant from the Green Space Foundation.
It just has a limit on each file, so I just have to start it up again.
So I made a call to an agent that I knew who said this was back on the market. This one right here. Yeah, we had seen it earlier, a year before, or a year and a half before, when it was offered for $3.5 million. Now they were selling, and now they were willing to sell it for $2.5 million. So we decided to bite the bullet and buy it.
Great. All right. So that's 60 years of time travel. Bernie, you had something you wanted to say about workshop.
Workshop was the pay. It is probably. Do you still have workshops?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't go strictly to Kibbutz anymore, right?
Workshop,
where you
I was in 7. I went
Seven.
in 1957.
And let's go around and just say what workshop everyone was on. 1 second. What were you on?
Huh?
I was 23rd workshop. Just came back.
67.
67 is this year.
67th workshop.
Oh,
No.
70.
I was
70?
there for the 10th anniversary of
63rd
Israel.
workshop. We don't predate the state.
All right. Who went to
Anyway.
workshop
There
when?
she is.
Okay.
15.
Wait. When did you guys go?
15. The rest of them go.
Okay. And what were you?
10th.
Say it one more time.
10th workshop.
All right. Norm?
You are, what were you?
20.
12.
20.
No. And anybody here?
I hit 2012.
Anybody else? Oh, Aviva?
Mahon and with 16th workshop.
Okay. All right. Tell us your story, Brian.
Well, it's not much of a. I mean, it just.
How important it is? Or what it's
Extremely
like?
important.
Go ahead.
Unbelievably important. I had a lot of struggles. Again, my father completely opposed my going. He passed away, and before he died, he said, "You'll go over my dead body." My mother would not sign out of respect for him. All of my brothers and my sister parlayed with my mother and got her to change her mind, and it was a tremendous experience. We went over, first of all, I had never flown, so we flew to Red Hook, New York, and that's where we all met. Our workshop group, there were 39 of us, and we boarded in New York, on a New York Harbor, the USS Independence. We had a 2-week sea voyage, and some of the subsequent, before they started flying people conveniently, it was a 2-week voyage on the ocean. I mean, you couldn't pay for it. It wasn't anything like steerage, but we were in the lower class. It was a tremendous thing. We stopped in Palma de Mallorca, we stopped in Cannes, we stopped in Genoa, and then went to Israel. Most of our time was spent on kibbutz, and most of that time, although it was an educational experience, we were digging potatoes.
Which kibbutz was it?
Kfar Blum.
Kfar Blum.
Kfar
So
Blum,
it's
in
before
northern Galilee. We sat under the Golan. We could hear the firing, shooting up around Mount Hermon every night. It was considered a very safe place because because in the middle of the finger, it's a tiny little finger. You got the Golan here, you got the Lebanese mountains here. It was the place of stopping for migratory birds, and they came by the billions. They stopped in the Chula Valley, and they still do to a lesser extent. Now the Chula is coming back.
It's been restored.
The small part, I was there towards the end of the draining. The Chula draining turned out to be not such a great idea.
No.
It's a wetland, but we would see uncounted and limitless numbers of birds flying between Africa and Europe. It was a tremendous, and we had the Hermon with the snow cap throughout the year. It was quite beautiful. We worked really hard, and we were there for 11 months. We were the first one that went for 11. The preceding one went for 8 or 9, I'm not sure. But they got to be there during the Sinai War. It was a great experience. We got to spend some time on the Moshav. We went to the one communist kibbutz and so forth. There were 1.5 million Jews. I don't know what the Arab count was. It was certainly maybe 500,000 or less. But it was a much different country. People have told me over the years, oh, when you go back, things have really changed. I didn't know. We didn't spend any time in Tel Aviv. We didn't go to the cities. We were there on the kibbutz. We went, I guess the most significant difference that I can point out is the story on our first Chofesh, a group of 4 or 6 of us. Mind you, we're in the extreme north. Galil Elyon, we hitchhiked to Eilat. That's not done nowadays, with all the possible terrorism and this thing and that. All of us, and it took us maybe a day, and Eilat, there was nothing there. We slept on the beach.
I know, yeah.
So just to let you know how things have changed, the population has quintupled. And I've been back, I actually didn't go back for 40 years. I went back in 1998 with one of my brothers who was there at the time. We got to see Far Bloom, we got to see Bertuvia, where the Shlichim, Ruth and Gidon Tzor, came to LA in 1955, left in 57, and they welcomed us and so forth. But it was a life-changing and remarkable experience. 2 years ago, we had a reunion of our entire workshop, and it was a wonderful, after I got used to how people look nowadays, I had seen a few, I recognized people. It was a wonderful, warm, embracing group, and though you talk about Kutzot, it's really very important, and Chevrot is very, very important, and it's kind of, as I said, it was the payoff for 5 or 6 years as a Chanich and then a Madrich.
So,
And I'll recount one thing. At NAMI, there was the examination. You had to go through an examination to see if you were sincere about going on workshop. I was hoping Zev Yaroslavsky would be here because his mother, Nina, and a guy named Dave Blevis and possibly David were sitting at this table and they interviewed me.
wow. They're checking your indoctrination.
Checking to see if I passed muster.
Right.
And I said I was sincere about going. I'm glad I did.
That's great.
Very cool.
Do you guys have any questions about
I
where
have
things?
a comment.
Right,
Another one.
let's ask somebody else. I'm holding on. Any other questions? No questions. There's a question.
But
Out of everyone here, who was on Sevet?
Who was it on 7?
who was a madrich or a madricha?
Yeah, anyway.
Here.
All here.
Who was on what?
On Sevet.
On the staff. Who was on the staff?
And one of the guys here, his name is Marty Cohen. His email address is roche76@gmail.com today. And you should know that all of these people were like the coolest, the best madrichim, because they're the people that want to come back all these years later, right? So these are all, when you look around at all these mifgashers, think that these were like the coolest, greatest, most amazing people and have gone on in their lives to be incredibly successful. Bernie is a major musician. He plays all over, and you guys should come out to a show. And the people here, I don't know how to turn this off, but the people here are leaders in our community. Zev Yaroslavsky is, whoop. Tell who Zev is. Give a little spiel about who Zev is and how.